Hey, it's Maria here. It's great to have this Indian summer today. We have 37 degrees and it is the second day of autumn today, the 2nd, of course, of March here in Australia. Today I wanted to just jump in and talk about the narcissistic anger trap. So basically what this anger trap is that let's just say that you're dealing with a narcissist and they're making a statement, and you may or may not know that they're actually a narcissist or narcissistic, and you disagree with what they're saying. And you just voice your opinion. You say, hey, you know, that's cool. I don't like this, and this is why. And when you disagree, the narcissistic person takes it personally. They take them as if it's an attack on who they are. And what happens is that they kind of do like a counterattack. So they start to tell you what you're doing. So you might be saying, hey, you know, I don't agree with this. And they might say, well, I'm right and you're wrong and you should know that. So they're not kind of talking about the topic anymore. Now they're talking about the disagreement. So instead of saying, yeah, it's cool to disagree, it's all good, you know, there's plenty of us, there's space for all of us here. Instead of that, they're attacking you because they're feeling attacked. And they blame you for, you know, being angry, or they blame you for, you know, saying, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, you should know better, blah, 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 those kinds of things. And then when you say, you know what, that's not actually where I'm coming from, this is where I'm coming from, they continue on that same line. They come back to you and they say, no, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. And at that stage, usually people get pretty frustrated with that person because they're misrepresenting you, and they're effectively trying to gaslight you into thinking that what they're saying is actually a fact, when in fact it's not true for you. So you start to doubt yourself and what you're saying. And if at that stage you kind of, you know, go, oh my goodness, maybe they're right. Now the narcissistic person doesn't have to put you into the anger trap because they've already won. Whereas the anger trap comes from when you reiterate your boundary and you say, no, this is where I'm coming from. I'm sorry if it didn't come across, you know what I was saying, but this is where I'm coming from. And at that point, because you're frustrated, you usually use some words like, you're not listening to me, or this is, you know, this is where it's at. And that's when they have you in the anger trap. That's when they say, you're being angry and unreasonable about this. Never mind that you've been reasonable up until this point, because now you are frustrated. So they've just trapped you into this anger piece, and now they get to say you're angry. And of course you are angry. And that's how it comes across to anybody who's reading, who isn't tuned into their own, you know, identity and their own authentic experience of who they are. So at that point, like if you continue to challenge the person, what happens is that they will continue to attack you, continue to gaslight you, continue to try and get you to believe that where they're coming from is actually accurate, even if it's not at all where you were coming from. And then they attack you for getting upset. So now you end up being drawn into this trap and then punished publicly, usually, to make this other person look good. So the way that you get out of those kinds of situations is that you state your truth, you tune into your inner children, you tune into all of the 4 people within you, and just to see that you are in fact, you know, saying what is true for you. And once you're comfortable that you're saying what's true for you, you can go back into the conversation and very calmly just say, no, this is where I'm coming from. Do it a couple of times. If still the person tries to tell you that what you're doing is something other than what you think you're doing or how you feel you're doing, then usually just say, thank you very much for this amazing conversation. Thank you so much. And exit the conversation and, you know, remove them from your friends list or block them or whatever, because usually those kinds of people, they're not interested in having they're not interested in actually having you be who you are. They're interested in having power over you, whether they're a narcissist, whether they're just narcissistic, or whether they're just having a really hard time. You know, setting the boundary for self-preservation is very important. So that's what I would say, how to deal with that. What are your thoughts? What was the most helpful thing about this video today? Let me know. I just thought of it today as I had a situation like this just come up today. And because I have narcissistic parental wounding, this always comes up when I'm about to hit a next level in my own personal development. So the universe is kind of going like, oh, are you sure you're ready for that? And thankfully, Peter helped me understand that, in fact, this is what's going on today. And I don't need to get sucked into that narcissistic wounding trap. I can just continue doing what I'm doing and take it from there. So I hope you're having a good day, and I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you real soon.